If it feels like you've been waiting forever for Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there's a pretty good reason for that.
Hi, I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have: patience.
Black Widow was originally supposed to be released in May of 2020, followed by The Eternals in the fall and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Disney+. Now, 6 months later, we are still waiting for our regular MCU fix, and we owe it all to real-world situations. And by that I mean Thanos. Whenever something goes wrong, I always blame it on the Mad Titan. Fortunately, McDonald's has got you covered. Throughout the month of October, you could visit your local Mickey D's and satiate your craving for chicken nuggies while feeding into your superhero fix. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of McDonald's Unboxed, where we uncover the truth behind the fast food chain's promotional tie-ins. I am Brandon Specht, and today we are going to talk about the all-new Marvel Studios Heroes Happy Meal.
Avengers!
Marvel Comics has been around in some form for over 80 years. During that time, they have created a slew of characters in several different genres, including horror, action, and even romance. Of course, Marvel Comics is most well known for their stories celebrating super heroics. They've created teams like the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and who could forget about the world's mightiest superhero team, the Avengers. They first banded together to defeat the Norse god Loki back in 1963. Hey, you know, that was the same year Ronald McDonald premiered as the fast food franchise character spokesperson. For those of you too young to remember, the original Ronald McDonald was portrayed by Willard Scott. And here I thought he was just a weatherman. Now, the original lineup for the Avengers, that's a whole nother story. It included the Invincible Iron Man, the Incredible Hulk, the Mighty Thor, Ant-Man, the Wasp, and... wait, that's it. That was the list. What about the first Avenger? America's Super Soldier, the Sentinel of Liberty, the Star-Spangled Avenger. What about Captain America?
When Captain America throws his mighty shield.
Arguably the most iconic Avenger, Captain America didn't show up in an Avengers book until Avengers number 4 in 1964. It turns out he was frozen in a block of ice since World War II. The Avengers thawed him out, and he joined the team. Of course, Avengers number 4 was by no means Steve Rogers' first appearance in comic books. His first appearance actually appeared way back in 1941 in Captain America Comics number 1. He teamed up with his pal Bucky Barnes in order to defeat the Nazi Scourge. During his 80-year career, Captain America has had several iconic moments, which is why he's probably my favorite Avenger. For example, on the cover of Captain America number 1, our pal Cap is seen punching the Fuhrer square in the jaw. It's important to remember that during World War II, Captain America served as a form of American propaganda against the Axis evil. He'd remind us to do important things like buy war bonds or save newspapers to help with the war effort. These things were considered patriotic. And aside from that, you know, it was just really fun watching Adolf Hitler get punched in the face over and over again. Another one of my favorite moments was in Captain America number 250, when the American public asked the Star-Spangled Avenger to run for president. Can you imagine? Cap addresses the crowd in what is considered one of the most patriotic moments in comic books. He tells them, "The presidency is one of the most important jobs in the world. The holder of the office must represent the best interests of the entire nation. By the same token, I have worked and fought my whole life for the growth and advancement of the American dream. We must live in the real world, and sometimes that world can be pretty grim, but it is the dream, the hope, that makes reality worth living. In the early 1940s, I made a personal pledge to uphold the dream, and as long as the dream remains even partially unfulfilled, I cannot abandon it. And so, I hope you can understand that in all fairness, I cannot be your candidate. You need to look within yourself to find the people you need to keep this nation strong and, God willing, to help make the dream come true. Another great Captain America speech appeared in Infinity Gauntlet number 4, published in 1991. That's where the Sentinel of Liberty gets up in Thanos' face and says, "As long as one man stands up to you, Thanos, you'll never be able to claim victory." Now, I know that some of his dialogue may come across as cheesy or idealistic, but that's what we love about Captain America. It's also given some writers the chance to parody that plucky attitude of his in some amazing moments. For my money, Scottish scribe Mark Millar has always written some of the best Captain America moments. For example, check out issue number 1 of The Ultimates when Captain America jumps out of an airplane without a parachute.
Is he wearing a parachute?
No. No, he wasn't.
When questioned about the decision, Bucky looks at his fellow soldier and says, "Don't you read the papers, pal? Captain America practically never wears parachutes. He says parachutes are for goyles." Now, I should probably mention that that scene took place during World War II, and that comment might not fly today. Miller gave us all another wonderfully ridiculous scenario in Civil War number 1, when S.H.I.E.L.D. attempts to take Captain America down for opposing the Superhuman Registration Act. Cap jumps out of a helicarrier, again, no parachute, and lands on a moving fighter jet. When the pilot shouts out, "Jesus!" Cap tells him to keep flying and watch that potty mouth.
For gosh sake, watch your language.
That's not going away anytime soon.
No joke, the pilot lands the jet on a football field and Captain America takes him out for burgers and fries. Now, doesn't that make you feel all-American? Hey, I wonder if that burger came from their local McDonald's. All right, soldiers, you've been patient, so it's time for us to check out this Happy Meal. And as always, we're going to check out the Happy Meal box first. So if we look at the box, you'll see that awesome McDonald's smile that we expect to see on the side. If I flip it over, you're going to see some incredible toys that show up in this set. There's 9 in total, and a lot of really cool ones that show up. My personal favorite, if I had to admit, my personal favorite is actually Potted Groot, which is showing up as number 5. Hope I end up getting that one, but it's pretty cool. On the back, we see Black Widow, who looks more like White Widow, judging by her clothing in this one, showing up on the back. And then on the side, we have this really interesting cape that you can pop off and put onto your milk, I guess. I think it might make it hard to drink, but sure, whatever. It's fun. So that box is fun, but if I had to admit, last time we had these Avengers toys, these Marvel Studios toys, the boxes were actually much cooler. You could actually collect several different boxes with different characters showcased on the box, everything from Iron Man to Black Widow to Captain America. And it was a lot of fun to see who they put on the box, who you were going to get that time around. But you know what? It's all good. They're all cool boxes, and honestly, it's more important about what's inside. And this time around, the toy looks to be, let's see what we got here. It looks like it is, Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch first appeared with her brother Quicksilver in X-Men issue number 4 in 1964. They were members of Magneto's Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. The siblings were later offered the opportunity to reform when Captain America invited them to join the Avengers. Her relationship with the synthesoid Vision has always been an interesting topic of discussion. It'll be interesting to dig a bit deeper when WandaVision drops on Disney Plus in December of 2020. So it's just another one of those really fun toys. And again, I'm kind of loving the fact that they stuck with these large craniums. And it looks like on the back, if you actually look on the back of her head, she actually has this little button here. Let's see what it does. Does it light up? Does it? Oh, okay. So it doesn't light up, but she does move her arms, and she's able to cast her hex power, the chaos magic. So that's a pretty cool toy, a pretty cool character to have indeed. All right, let's take a look and see who this second toy is. And inside the box, we have... It looks like it is... Oh, I think it's Falcon. Very nice. Sam Wilson, the Falcon. Captain America took the Falcon under his wing, pardon the pun, back in 1969. In addition to being a skilled fighter, his flight harness gives him the ability to fly. He's been Captain America's partner throughout several adventures. During Steve Rogers' absence in 2014, the Falcon became the new Captain America. Not to be confused with Captain Falcon, the bounty hunter from the F-Zero game, who cruises around in the Blue Falcon, not to be confused with the hero from the Hanna-Barbera cartoon. I'm sorry, is that none of that's making sense. How about we do this? If you'd like to learn more about Marvel's Falcon, you'll want to tune in to Disney Plus next year for The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So the thing I find hilarious is that he has this giant head, but he looks so serious. It's almost kind of ridiculous. Again, if you look on the back of his head, he's got one of these buttons. Let's see what it does this time. I think I can guess. Let's get a little wing flapping action on Falcon. Very nice. I mean, that's his main power, is that he can fly. Oh, overall, I mean, I'm really happy with these toys. And again, this whole series and the last series of Marvel, the Marvel Studio toys, it was a lot of fun, and I hope this is something that in Phase 5 and Phase 6, maybe this is something that the McDonald's Marvel collaboration will continue. So those are just two of the toys that I picked up from McDonald's, and I should point out that another interesting thing about these toys, about these figures, is that they actually connect with one another. You can connect your heroes together, and additionally, you can connect them with any of the figures that came out at McDonald's during Avengers Endgame. It's really just a neat way to have your Avengers assemble. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of McDonald's Unboxed, but before you head out, I would love to know a few things. First and foremost, who is the best Avenger of all time? There have been a lot, and of course, extra points if you say Captain America. Also, what is your favorite film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Why don't you tell us about it in the comments section below? Oh, and if you are feeling exceptionally patriotic, why not drop a like on this video and consider subscribing to Retro Spectrum so you don't miss a single episode of McDonald's Unboxed. Next month, we'll be experiencing the all-new Mickey's Runaway Railway Happy Meal.